Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It is 9 o'clock. It's time for another video, and today I am back with one of the most popular videos on the channel, which is the Matt test. Now, if you don't know what the Matt test is, the Matt test is when I show Matt Cluley, who works in my office, a trick, and I ask him what he thinks. Now, Matt is not a magician. He is a performer. He works in the sales department of my company. He understands magic because he has to sell it. He loves magic, and if you watch the Matchumentary, you know that I'm turning him into a magician. But there's a lot he doesn't know, almost nothing. He doesn't know pretty much anything. So because of that, it's a very unique, listening to him talk about a trick is very interesting because I get a very unique view on it. Because he's looking at it from a muggle's point of view with a limited amount of magic knowledge, but also he's also coming in from a performer's point of view, and that kind of skews his thought process. And if you've seen the Matt test before, you'll know that sometimes I love a trick and he hates it, other times I hate a trick and he loves it. So it's very interesting to hear Matt's thoughts. And today I am going to be doing a Matt test on one of my own products. I'm going to be doing a Matt test on Cheeky. So I'm going to be showing Matt Cheeky, and not Cheeky. We've done Cheeky. I'm going crazy. We're doing trivia. So I'm showing Matt trivia, and then I'm going to get him to talk about what he thinks. Now, trivia, if you've seen the trailer or if you've seen the review show special, you know that it's a collection of routines with movie fact cards. And the main routine is a two-phase routine, but then there's a bunch of other routines that you can do with these movie cards as well. There's a lot you can actually structure. You can almost put together like a 20-minute mentalism act just with 10 movie fact cards. So I'm going to show the main routine and a couple of bonus routines to Matt, and we'll get his opinion on it and get him to see what he thinks. Now, if you do like these, they're available from Alakazam, so go check out Alakazam. You can get trivia from there. But without further ado, let's start performing trivia to Matt. So, Matt, you love movies, don't you?
When I get a chance to watch them, I do, yeah.
So I got this from like a, you know those geek shops like that sell like stuff to do with genre TV and things like that?
Yeah.
Like the Forbidden Planet and places like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I got this from there because I'm a giant geek. And these are basically movie fact cards. And you can get lots of different ones. I got 10 of them. I also put something else in there. I put a playing card with a question mark. I added that.
I'm guessing. I can tell by the question
Put
mark.
something on the other side. You can put that in your pocket and we'll get back to it in a little bit.
Put it in my pocket?
Yeah, but don't look at it. Okay. Now, what we have here is these are, these are movie trivia cards. And the ones that I've got here are some of the most iconic movies of all time. In fact, these are apparently the fan top 10 movies as voted for by the fans. So they're not the top 10 grossing movies.
That's bold.
Yeah, I know it is, right? And all of these cards work exactly the same way. So first of all, you've got the title of the film.
Okay.
And then after the title, you've got 10 facts. And they are really interesting facts. So, like I say, you've probably seen most of these films at one point or another because they're all films that most people have seen. Now, the cards work exactly the same way. Like I said, there's 10 cards and there's 10 facts on each card, which means there's a total of 100 different facts here.
Okay.
100 different facts. Now, each fact has somewhere between 10 to 20 lines. 10 to 20 words, sorry. So there's something like about somewhere between 1,000 and 2,000 words on these cards. So we're going to try and do something a bit weird here. You're going to think of one of these. But if I told you to think of one, I know you well. I might know which film you're going to gravitate towards. So instead, we're going to do it differently. You're going to think of a number, 1 to 10, either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10. When you think of that number, you're going to put that many cards to the bottom of the packet. So, for example, if you thought of 4, you'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you'd look at the bottom card. Okay. If you thought of 1, you put 1 to the bottom, and you look at the bottom card. You get the idea.
Yeah.
That way, it's going to be completely and totally random. Now, I'm going to look away, and when you're looking at that bottom card, I want you to tell me, and we'll continue. But it's very important that you don't tell me the number at any point, and it's very important that it's a free choice. Now, when you're looking at that bottom card, let me know.
Okay.
And just focus on the bottom card. In fact, give me the others back. And we're just going to put them out of the way because they're not important. So you're happy with that card, yeah?
Yeah.
Now,
Do I need to show them the card?
It's totally up to you. You can do if you want to. I'm just looking away. I don't know if people can see that on camera. I'm not looking at anything. Right, now, the number you're thinking of, you're happy with that number, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. Then we'll continue to use it. Whatever number you're thinking of, I want you to use that number and go down to that fact. So if you're thinking of 2, you look at the second fact. If you're thinking of 10, you look at the 10th fact.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what I want you to do is I want you to read that fact a couple of times in your head, not out loud.
Okay.
And then pick a word on that fact, maybe a nice big word. And when you've got it, let me know.
Okay.
You got it?
Yeah.
Cool. Now what I want you to do is put the card in between your hands. Have you done that?
Yeah.
Very good. So.
You can't see the... Yeah.
No, I can't. So, here we go. So look at me.
Yeah.
Here we go. I'm going to try and get the word, which is impossible because if you think about it, there's 10 cards. There's 10 facts on each card. There's like 2,000 words. If you'd thought, you could have thought of any card. You could have ended up on any card. If you thought of a different number, you would have ended up on a different card. Then you went down to a fact. If you changed your mind and gone for a different number, you would have ended up on a different fact. Then you could have picked any word. There's tons of words, and you can check these out later. Nothing's repeated. You can have a look at everything. But you're thinking of a word. I want you to imagine you're sitting in the cinema, and the cinema screen's in front of you, and the word is written on the screen. But I want you to imagine it's written in bright blue neon. That's interesting. Okay. You changed it in your head from blue to red, didn't you? I think that might be a clue to the film. You did. You changed it to red. Even though I said blue, you changed it to red. Think of the first letter. Imagine that shining bright. It's really important you change it back to blue, though. Have you done that? In your imagination, imagine that first letter shining brighter. Okay. Now look at me. It's a C, isn't it? Yeah?
Do I have to tell you?
Yeah, no, you don't have to. I know I'm right. Let's go for the last letter. Imagine that.
Confidence, not arrogance, right?
It's not arrogance when you actually are this good, you know. The last letter. Okay, imagine that the blinking on the first letter transfers to the, yeah, that's right, the G, the one at the very end, that G, yeah. Imagine that. You imagined it, yeah? Now, this is where it gets interesting. I want you to pick a word in the middle of the... pick a letter in the middle of the word. That's interesting. People don't normally do that. You went back and forth between a couple of letters, didn't you? Was it like a Q and a U? It was. You went back and forth between a Q and a U. But you settled on the Q. No, you settled on the U because it's more in the middle. Look at me. You're thinking of the word conquering. Let's see if we can go one step further.
Hold on.
Was that the word, Matt?
Yes, that was the word. How's that a thing?
Don't ask me.
Well, let's try.
No, wait.
I don't even know what it was. You didn't show me.
Do I get to see all the other cards?
Yeah, you can see everything, but I've not quite finished the trick yet. You can see anything. We can stop the trick if you want to, and you can examine everything. They're just normal cards that I got from a shop. I still haven't seen that card. Hold it in between your hands. Let's go for the film. Look at me. Let's go for the film.
Go for the film?
I'm going to try and work out what the film is. Look at me.
Yeah.
It's interesting. This is a film that you've seen. This is part of a whole bunch of films. You've not seen all of them. There's quite a few that you haven't seen. But this one you did see. You made a special effort to see this one. You actually went to the cinema to see it, didn't you? Even though you hadn't watched a lot of the films that came before it, you went to the cinema to watch this. Am I right? You're thinking of... it's a superhero film. It's a Marvel film. You're thinking of the Avengers. Yeah. Hey, I still don't know that number you thought of, so let's try something else. Matt, you know the number you thought of?
Yeah.
Use that number to go to a different line. This time count from the bottom up. So if you thought of 1, you'd be on the 10th fact. If you thought of 2, you'd be on the 9th fact. 3, you'd be on the 8th fact. You get the idea. Go to a different fact.
Yeah.
You on a different fact?
Hold on a second.
You on a different fact?
You can't just move on from that.
Craig, I think you finally broke him.
I think I did. Let it out, Matt.
You okay, Matt?
No. It's Lloyd again.
No, I won't tell you who it is yet. I'll tell you in a sec.
Are the very first instincts always blame Lloyd?
Well, it's ones that I really, really don't understand. The ones that I'm just like, that's actually not possible. Because he can't really read my mind, can he?
Well, it's possible because it just happened.
I need to see those.
You can see them, but before you do, let's go for a different thing. Yeah? Did you go to a different line?
Oh.
So this time count from the bottom up. You've got a very nice hand.
Thanks.
Moisturiser.
That one's nicer.
It's better.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Do the same thing. This time think of a nice big word on that fact.
Okay.
But this time don't keep it to yourself. Say it out loud.
Say the long word out loud.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible.
Are you sure?
Well, I can read, yeah.
Okay. I mean, and you know, I mean, obviously, you could have ended up on any fact. You could have ended up on any word.
Wait.
Yeah?
Wait.
Okay, wait. Take your time. Are we good?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just checking all of the, like...
Yeah. So what was the word again?
Incredible.
Do you remember, before we did any of this, I put a really rubbish question mark on the back of a playing card and I put it in your pocket?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Oh no.
You said the word was incredible. Can you just nip into your pocket and take it out?
No.
Just it was that pocket down there.
I don't want to.
Go on, it was that pocket. I saw you put it in there. And you're not good at sleight of hand, so it'll still be in there. Do you want to turn it over and look at what's on it?
You want me to turn it?
There's no possible way you could know that.
You want me to find out?
And I looked at every fact on that card. And they look like, do you know what I mean? They could be, I don't know them, but they could be real.
No, I didn't even see the facts.
All of the
I
words
don't
are
even know what they
different.
are.
All the facts are different. I need to look at the other cards.
Go for it.
Can I
But
look
first
at
of all, do you want to have a look at that?
Can I look at them first?
You can do, but it's not going to make a difference as to... Turn it over, you know you want it.
Are they all different?
Yeah, you can have a look at them in a second.
The fact that he's letting me examine the cards makes me really nervous.
This is more suspenseful than The Conjuring.
Should we just do it, Jack?
Go on then.
Nope.
Come back. No, come back.
Done.
No, come back.
Nah, come back. It's freaked out completely. Bless his cotton socks.
Right, let me look.
Before you look at them, and you can look at them, absolutely. I want to show you one other thing very quickly first, if that's okay. Just one more thing, just very quickly, because we've been mixing these up. But I want to do something kind of really strange. Now you mix these up, I mix these up, but we're gonna do one more thing with these. We're gonna mix them up in a really random way. I'm gonna have you say the word deal or split. If you say deal, I'll deal the card on the table. If you say split, I'll change the positions of the two cards and drop them on the table. You get the idea? So deal or split. I wouldn't try something else. This doesn't always work, I've got to be honest, but I'm on a roll, so let's see. Deal or split?
Split.
Okay. And again?
Deal.
Okay.
Deal. Split.
Like that. Again?
Split.
Yep.
Deal.
There's only one left. So you can see you change the positions of there, there, and there, right? We'll do it one last time. Deal or split?
Split.
Okay.
Split.
Okay.
Deal. Split. Split.
That has to be deal. So again, you change the positions of all of those. Was that fair? Because don't forget, at the beginning you mix these up.
Don't feel like anything's ever fair
at the beginning
anymore.
you mix these up and then I mix these up and then you put them into a completely random order, right? Nobody could possibly know the order of these. But do you remember what the first thing is that I did when I took these cards out of this box? I said they were the top 10 films as voted for by the fans. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I actually even showed you this. This is the fan poll of the top 10 movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are the top 10 films as voted for by the fans. So the first one's Ghostbusters, then Karate Kid, then The Matrix, then Star Wars, Avengers, Fast and the Furious, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Batman Begins, Toy Story, and Jurassic World. Right?
Makes sense.
Yeah, does make sense. Let's start from 10, which would be the bottom card of this packet. Jurassic World. bearing in mind that you mix these up, I mix these up, then you randomly put them into an order and changed all the positions. But Jurassic World, that could be a fluke. Other than underneath that, you've got Toy Story, and that's Toy Story. Then underneath that, you've got Batman Begins, and that's Batman Begins. Then underneath that, you've got Raiders of the Lost Ark, and that's Raiders of the Lost Ark. Then underneath that, you've got Fast and the Furious, and that's Fast and the Furious. Then you've got the Avengers, and that's the Avengers. And then you've got Star Wars, you've got the Matrix, you've got Karate Kid, and finally, you've got Ghostbusters. And my friend, you can check those out and read some facts, and maybe you will learn something.
We mixed them up.
You did? Twice?
Twice.
Any chance you want to go to the cinema after work?
Go watch the Ghostbusters.
Everything's different, man.
I got nothing.
They are all genuinely different. 10 facts. All the words are different. Conquering is not on every card.
I very much doubt it'll be on any card, because Conquering really kind of fits with the Avengers. It wouldn't fit with any of the other films. You know, maybe the Ghostbusters.
No, it's not on any card other than the one that I picked
Okay. Don't know.
so far.
I can see it maybe being on Jurassic World. Looks like that's all about dinosaurs conquering the Earth. I don't know.
It isn't.
Okay. I don't know. I only just bought these a couple of days ago. It's not like I know what's on them again.
It isn't. That's even worse.
How so?
Because if none of the words are repeated, they're all just like there's nothing on the. You can't actually read people's minds,
How do
right?
you know?
Because you can't. You can't actually read people's minds, right? It's not possible. Like,
Far as
regardless
we're
of what it
aware.
says. All of the movies are different. All of the facts are different. All of the words are different. That word doesn't appear on any other of those cards. That's the only card that word appears on. He mixed them up at the start, just when he was explaining it to me. He did 4 and then whatever, 4 and then 1. He didn't know what number I picked. He didn't see me shuffle them or move them. But if he doesn't know the number that you pick, he can't know the line that you're on. Right? Either time. Either time.
Either time, yeah.
So
And when you picked a
card
line, I gave you a chance to change your mind if you wanted to and go for a different number.
So he doesn't know what number I picked. So he doesn't know what card I'm on. Even if they were in order, he doesn't know. Even if the cards are in order, he doesn't know. Because he doesn't know what number is in my head.
But I mixed them up at the beginning. Remember, I did all this stuff.
So we mixed them up. I love all this stuff. The mentalism stuff.
I can tell.
I love it. Love mentalism stuff. There's got to be a method to it. You can't actually read my mind, right? So there's got to be a method to it. I just don't know what it is.
Neither do I.
But that was in my pocket from the start. So he knew before I'd even picked it.
Apparently so.
So it doesn't matter, does it? Like, it doesn't matter what number you pick. Because he already knows. But he can't...
So do you want to know who created this? It wasn't Lloyd.
It wasn't Lloyd.
No.
Pete and Harry.
Nope. Although it is Alakazam. As you can see, it's got the Alakazam logo on there.
Where?
Oh, yeah.
But it wasn't Peter and Harry.
There you go. Alakazam present trivia.
Okay. Oh, fuck off! No!
No, don't leave.
No!
Come back. Don't knock the light.
I'm never hearing the end of this, no! Oh, no!
I can just see the cogs turning in your brain.
Oh, you bastard.
It's a good trick, though.
Can we refilm it?
Nope.
Yeah, that's not up to me.
Nope. No, we can't. Any clue?
No.
There's a lot more you can do with this than just that. Me and Pete sat down on the tutorial for a couple of hours and went through lots of different routines and different handlings and different ideas. There's lots of different stuff you can do with it. That's the basic couple of routines that you can do with it, but there's a lot more. It's like a mentalism act in your pocket.
But they're not... They're not marked. Well, I mean, if they are, it's done very well because I can't see anything. All the words are different.
Yep.
All of the facts are different.
Yeah. I wrote them all myself.
You wrote them yourself?
Mm-hmm.
So they're not even real?
No.
Oh, you sure got me to help on Good Movie, folks.
But they're all there. Everything's different, man. Like, you can see them. Like, words don't repeat themselves.
It's sad that I've seen all these films.
No. I picked the films in this set for a reason. They're iconic films. In 10 years' time, people will still be talking about all of these films.
Oh, let's see.
So it's a film, it's a trick that will stand the test of time.
But you're going to tell me how it's done?
Can you keep a secret? No, I can't tell you. Maybe when we start your magical training, I will. Because this is completely self-working.
Hello.
Yeah, there's no skill.
say that.
There's no skill. There's no sleight of hand. Well, obviously there's no
There's
sleight
got to
of
be
hand.
a skill to it.
There's no.
You
There's
can't-
no. I mean, obviously there's a skill when it comes to presenting the trick, but there's no skill in terms of anything else. I mean, obviously there's no sleight of hand. That's just logical. I'm not even holding the bloody cards. In order to do sleight of hand, I've got to touch something.
So do you have to remember everything?
No, there's no. There's not memory work to it at all, really. I mean, I'm having there's a debate about this, but there's not really memory work. There's something you need to remember, but you can do it within 30 seconds. Like literally within 30 seconds, once you know what to do, because once you're doing the trick, you get given the information that you need in order to know what you need to know. That sounds very cryptic, but that's the best you're going to get.
I love mentalism stuff.
It is pretty bonkers.
It's ice, isn't it?
I'm not a mentalist by any stretch of the imagination. I kind of do more mental magic, but this is
I
as
think it's
close
my
to
favourite.
mentalism as I'm going to get, really.
I think it's
As
my
a
favourite,
creator.
like, genre, style. I think mentalism is my favourite. Because it's just mine. I don't get it.
I think the most important thing when you're doing any type of trick, whether it's a magic trick or it's mentalism or anything, I think the most important thing is a hook. Getting them interested. And that's why I kind of picked movies for this. Because the one thing I know is people love movies.
There's more people like movies that don't, in that.
Yeah. And you know that people are going to have seen these movies.
I think even I've seen most of those.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen Batman. But the rest of them, I think I've seen.
You should. Man's a brilliant film.
I've seen the old Star Wars movies. I don't know how you did it. And looking at the card, the fact that you can go, there you go, look at the cards. I was fully expecting you to be like, yeah, you can look at the cards just at the end. And then we get to the end and you go, actually, no, I've just made them vanish. But like, and then you let me look at the cards. And the second you let me look at the cards, I'm like, don't know then. Because they're all different. Everything on there is different.
Yeah.
None of the words are repeated.
You could give these cards to somebody as a gift that's a movie fan, and they would not find the secret. It would look just like a series of facts on a series of fact cards.
Which it is. It is just a series of facts on a series of fact cards. The word that, what was it? Conquering.
Conquering, yeah.
The word that I picked isn't on there again. So you knew. So in order to do that, that means he knew. Because then you said the movie as well. So he knew what card I picked.
Yeah, somehow.
Because he knew the word, he knew the movie, and he put that was in my pocket from the very beginning.
Play him in this.
Yeah, incredible. That was in my pocket before we even started.
And I watched it.
So before we started, he already knew what card I was going to pick. But we shuffled them.
Multiple
And then I
times.
picked a number out of my head that he didn't know. So how is that possible?
I have no idea, mate.
Can't know beforehand because there's a random choice. But then he did.
You got me?
I don't know, dude.
Good.
It's very, however you've done that, it's very, very clever because I haven't got the foggiest, not a clue. And that mentalism stuff really plays with you, doesn't it?
Do you have secrets you don't want people to know about, Matt?
Well, it's like all this mental. You can see how like Darren Brown and people like that have done so well because it just fucks people up,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
I know this is a trick.
Yes.
I know it's a trick. But the only explanation for how you could do that was to know what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But you can't.
Nope.
But that's the only explanation. The only explanation to how that's done is impossible. Which is fucked up, isn't it?
I've got real mind powers as well.
You haven't though.
Yes, I have.
You haven't got regular mind powers most of the time.
I'm psychic. I'm half
You haven't
psychic.
got the same mind powers that everybody else has got for 90% of the day.
I'm half psychic. I'm half telepathic. Makes me psychopathic.
Yeah, well I would agree with that. That's mental.
So does it pass the MAT test?
Yeah, I'd have no idea how it's done.
Boom.
No, and I love mentalism stuff. I don't know how it's done. Brilliant. Brilliant. Even though it's yours. God damn it. God damn it.
Yes.
Should have told me beforehand.
There you go. That is another MAT test in the bag. So there you go, guys. That is the MAT test. Now, I found it very interesting what Matt was saying. Matt's the sort of guy that tries to figure things out. He's very analytical by nature, and he also understands that there's special props and special tricks and so on and so forth, and gadgets and gizmos. You know, he's not stupid. What's interesting that I found about this, there's a few things that I found that was interesting. And the first thing is, Matt was convinced that he wouldn't be able to examine the cards. Now, there's certain routines that you perform where it doesn't matter if they're examinable or not, because I don't think people want to examine the objects. Then there's other routines where I think it's vitally important that the object is examinable. Trivia is an example of a trick where I really do think that the cards need to be completely examinable. And the reason that I think that's important is because the cards, the things that are being used throughout, right? I suppose what I'm trying to say here is, why aren't I just saying, think of a word? You know, think of any word. Don't look at this. Don't do this. Think of a word, right? Obviously, that's impossible. I can't just have somebody think of a word and tell them what it is. But so I have to justify everything. That when you're performing magic or mentalism and there's procedure, you have to justify everything. You have to have a reason for everything. And when I'm using these particular cards, I think that the use of the cards is justified through the presentation, but I think it then leads to maybe people wanting to look at them. And the fact is they can be examined, which is great. And you saw Matt going through them with a fine-tooth comb and just looking at every word. Now, full disclosure right here, they can have a different word every single time. Absolutely, 100% for sure, they can have a different word every single time. And because there's 10 words that they can potentially pick from, and you're cued the word immediately. You know, you're cued the word. I'm not going to get into the method, but you're cued the word, right? So the point I'm trying to make here is there's 10 words and they can pick any one of them, and you're cued the word. So there's no fuss or no difficulty for you. It's very, very easy to do. The point I'm trying to make here is each one of those words that you could particularly think of, in this case he thought of conquering, you can look through all the other cards and you're not going to see that word again, which is great. Now, this second word that he thought of, which was incredible, that does repeat. It appears once on every card in a different position. Now, it's not a problem because the word incredible, when you're doing facts about a movie, you'd expect incredible to appear maybe on each card, and I think it's the same fact each time. It talks about the incredible box office performance, and it's in a different position each time. And when I first developed trivia, I kind of thought to myself, if somebody examines the cards and I do the prediction of incredible, and they go, oh, incredible appears on this card and this card, I could say to them, yeah, but you know, you'd expect it to, because you know, each card is its own thing. And I prepared this script that I was going to say to people. Now, it turns out through very extensive performances of this, that's never a thing. Nobody ever kind of even picks up on that. They always look for the first word, and if they see the second word, because they're seeing it in the context of an incredible box office and they're seeing it in a completely different place, they don't even mention it. Now, I don't know what the case was with Matt. I don't know if he wasn't looking for it or if he was looking for it and he dismissed it, because obviously it looks like it should be there. But it's very interesting to see that, because I say on the project that you don't have to do that prediction of incredible if you don't want to, and if you don't do the prediction of incredible, you know, there's no words that's going to be repeated anywhere. But I then point out it makes no difference because nobody ever sees it. And there's a perfect example. There's Matt trying to figure it out. He has been told that there are they are special cards that I have designed, and yet even then he doesn't see anything wrong with them, because really there's nothing to see. I genuinely meant what I said to him, which is you could take these cards, you could give them to somebody as a gift, a movie buff as a gift, and they wouldn't see anything wrong with them at all. And I think that's a really important aspect of this particular routine. Now, the other thing that you saw here is the matchup of the film. So he mixed up the order and then it matched the film. This is very much a little bit like The Moment by Andy Nyman. It's a move that I've used an awful lot. The Swindle Switch by Paul Curry, or the Jerks version of the Swindle Switch by Paul Curry, is an incredible sleight and has so much versatility. And that's one of the bonus routines on the project. You can literally immediately go from the main routine into that. And, you know, myself and Peter on the project, we talk about all the different things. What I found interesting about that is, you know, Matt was trying to get me to slow down. He's like, whoa. I wanted to move on to the next phase. And Matt was like, whoa, hang on a minute. Give me a moment. I'm thinking about this. And when I went into that phase, you know, he was still trying to think about the previous phases, and he really liked that. He talked about it a few times, but I got the impression that it was the main routine that was like the focus of his of him being baffled. It was the first word. It was the conquering. That was the thing that really messed with his head, over and above everything else. And I think that it's important that when you've got a project, you perform it a few times so you can figure out what routines are best for you, what routines are not so good for you, so you can structure the act accordingly. And, you know, especially with something like trivia, it's got multiple routines, it's got multiple ideas. Peter Nardi shares his routines with it. I share my routines with it. And between us, we go through everything with a fine-tooth comb. And I think it's important that you pick and choose which aspects of the project that you like the best, and you put together a routine that fits you and you alone. Having said all that, you know, I'm very happy that he loved this. You know, this is something that's been near and dear for my heart. Anybody who's got the project knows the history behind this. This is about probably 15 years old at this point, and I'm so glad from my point of view that the ultimate version of this has hit the market, and I'm very proud of it. And it's nice to see that Matt loves it, and as you've seen from live performances from various different places that I've performed this, it's a real big hit with pretty much everybody. So yeah, that's trivia, and it's another trick that's passed the Matt test. So that's the Matt test, guys. If you want to get trivia, you can get it from Alakazam. If you've got any questions about it, please let me know in the comments down below. Thank you very much for joining me once again on Magic TV. You want to see more videos like this, like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. And don't forget, if you want to join the NETRIX, which is my online streaming platform for magicians, you just go to www.thenetrix.com. That's www.thenetrix.com, and you can get access to the NETRIX immediately and see what all the fuss is about. I'm going to be back again soon, but one more time, thank you so much for joining me. My name's Craig from Magic TV.